In this video, I'll be going over some spring fragrances. If you're into spring fragrances or you just want to smell great during spring, stay tuned. Hey everyone, it's Peter from Central. On this channel, we talk about fragrances, designers, niche, perfumers, so on and so forth. So if you're into fragrances or you just want to smell nice, consider subscribing. Don't forget that little bell button. It lets you know of any of my further posts. I don't want to keep you waiting too long. Let's get into our video. With spring around the corner, I thought it would be a good idea to do a video about some fragrances that I'll be wearing going into spring and maybe into summer. For me, a spring fragrance is something that I can wear coming out of the winter into spring when the sun comes out a little bit and warms up the air just a tad. So you don't need it quite as dense as you do in the winter when it's really cold, but not quite as light and fresh as you would need in the summer when it's really hot. It's sort of in between, something that you can wear in the spring or maybe even fall. And there are some fragrances that I have picked out here today that I can't wait to wear. Some of these fragrances you can even wear through spring and into summer. You can also wear these dressed up, you can wear these dressed down, you can wear them to work, and you can wear them to play. They're all pretty versatile. Some of them you could even make them your signature scent. These are all fragrances that I'm very excited about to wear this spring. They are not ranked in any particular order. I don't really believe in ranking fragrances. Maybe I will in the future, but for right now, fragrances to me are all exciting and they're all great. The first one that we're going to look at is the 2020 reformulation, or the new Dior Homme. The nose behind this one is François Demachy. This one was created in 2020 and it utilizes some notes like ISOE Super. It also has LME in it, which is a piney resinous note. It also has some cashmere in it. So it is a completely different fragrance. It no longer features the note of iris, so lots of people are disappointed. I understand that. But if you give this 2020 reformulation, a little bit of a try and wear it a few times, you will actually like it. Don't think of it as so much of a reformulation and they didn't do a good job. It's actually a unique and individual scent all on its own. And that's the 2020. It's going to be great for spring, going into summer, and some people are already wearing this one as a signature scent, and that is Dior Homme 2020. The next one that I have is one of those fragrances that actually doesn't cost that much, but every time I smell it, I'm like, oh God, this is so good, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. And it is the Karl Lagerfeld and his Bois de Vetiver. This fragrance, when you smell it, it smells so good. It is smooth. A little bit of vetiver, it's got a little bit of a creaminess to it. It is really a very interesting fragrance from 2017. This fragrance has some ambroxan, it has some blood orange in this one. There's also some patchouli and vetiver. It is dense enough to still cut through a little bit of a crisp air. Not too cold, but if it's still a little bit fresh outside, this one will cut right through it, and it is an excellent price. It's a perfect spring fragrance if you ask me. You can also get this one for about $25 for a 50 milliliter. This is a 100 milliliter right here. But $25 for a 50 milliliter bottle is not a bad deal. Now, it doesn't last very long, so you need to go a little bit heavier on the spray or just take it with you and spray and go. The next one that I picked is a Prada fragrance, and it is Prada Lum, and this one is from 2016. It is a powdery, fresh fragrance. I'm just coming off of wearing the Prada Lum Intense, and that's the black one back here. I've been wearing this one for the winter months, also a great fragrance. But as it's getting warmer, I like to wear the Prada Lum from 2016. This is a office-friendly scent. You can wear that anywhere. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It also will last all day. Absolutely no one will be offended. And once sort of spring is over and it's getting a little bit hot, what I like to do, I like to switch out to the Prada Lum Low, which is even a little bit lighter than this one and has just a little bit more of a fresher scent to it. So it's perfect if you're a Prada person and you like to wear. You could actually go with these three and do winter, spring, fall, and summer, and you will be set. Prada Lum 2016. It's a great spring scent that everybody would just love. Of course, another one that's really amazing is also a little bit on the, controversial side, and it is the Mont Blanc Explorer from 2019, I believe it was. 2019. Now this one, of course, it smells a lot like, you know, Creed Aventus, and it's a clone this, so it's a clone that. But when you get this one and you smell it and you wear it for a little while, you realize that it has its own personality. It smells sort of like the mid of the dry down of Creed Aventus the entire time when you spray it from the get-go to the end. It's a little bit more linear. It's not quite, doesn't have the evolution that the original Creed from Aventus has, which it's right there. This is still, to me, a better fragrance. But if you're on a budget and you want to smell in the vicinity of the Creed, I think the Mont Blanc Explorer from 2019 is a great choice. I did a complete review on Mont Blanc versus Aventus in an earlier video. If you're interested in the complete note breakdown between the two and what I truly think on a deeper level, I will link it in the cards above and you can watch that video. This fragrance also has 3 perfumers behind it. We have Maison Dieu, Vernandez, and Pachou. So it's expertly done, and I actually like wearing this fragrance. It's a great fragrance to just kind of spray around and not have to worry about spending too much money when you wear an excellent fragrance. It's a good choice for spring. And if you want to go a little bit old school, 2006, and wear something that is still an excellent spring fragrance in my eyes, you can go with Prada Amber Puram. It's the blue one. There is one that's a black one. It's over here. Not this one. This one's a little bit denser, a little bit deeper. Yeah, not so much for spring, more for fall and winter. It's the Amber Puram, and it's the blue one. This one is a classy, soapy fragrance. It is almost, it's kind of creamy, just thick enough for spring. And it smells like an expensive soap. It's a beautiful fragrance. If you haven't tried this, it's from 2006, and that's Prada Amber Puram. It's a great fragrance. If you haven't tried it, get your hands on it. It's a good one. And just thick enough for spring is Yves Saint Laurent, the Y, and this is the EDP. The original Y, the EDT, is great for the hot summer days, but when it's still a little bit cooler outside, this one is a perfect scent. I like this one all year long, but for some people this is a little bit too dense in the summer. But I think this is a fabulous fragrance for spring or the cooler days, cooler evenings, and it's absolutely versatile. Dress it up, dress it down, and that's Yves Saint Laurent Y, and this is the EDP edition. This one was created in 2018 by Dominique Ropion. It is definitely a lot denser than the EDT, and that's why it's perfect for the springtime, and it's a little bit cooler outside. It smells great all day long. It has a little bit of apple in it, some sage, and there's some geranium in this one as well. The dry down is also excellent. It has a little bit of a fruity dry down with the olibanum. There's also some tonka in here and some amber as it dries down. It's a beautiful fragrance. It has a nice fresh top, and it dries down beautifully through the olibanum, tonka, and the amber. Clean, fresh, and super versatile. Yves Saint Laurent Y. But I get it. If you're over the whole blue thing and you're like, I don't want a blue fragrance, for 2021 spring, then I got one for you. You can get the Gentleman Givenchy, and it is a 2019. And this one was actually created by Nathalie Larson and Olivier Cresp. And this is a gorgeous fragrance. It's a little bit more on the mature side. There's also a little bit more on the green side. Instead of blue, it's more on the green side, I guess. And I really, really like this one. With its petitgrain, there's some iris in here. And there's also some ambroxan in the dry down. It's a really, really gentlemanly fragrance. It smells a lot along the line of Artisan Pure by John Varvatos. However, this one is not as loud, and it's a lot more gentlemanly than the Artisan Pure. The downside of it is it only lasts about 4 to 5 hours. So you do have to reapply it, but while you're wearing it, this is a gorgeous fragrance from Gentleman Givenchy, created by Olivier Cresp and Nathalie Larson. And if you're somewhere where it's still very cold in the spring and you need the fragrance to kind of help you keep warm a little bit, I think I have a really good one. I didn't know how they were going to do this, how they're going to turn this fragrance into a spring or summer fragrance, but they actually did it. And that is Stronger With You, and that's the Freeze from Emporio Armani. This relatively new fragrance from 2020 retains the DNA from the Stronger With You line. What they've done in this one is they've added some citruses, and they added the note of ginger for a little bit of sparkle, and this fragrance dries down in a beautiful maroon glaze. All I can say is yum. If you want something that's still gonna keep you warm in the cooler days when you smell it, but has some freshness added into it, this is a great choice for spring. The next one is a little bit harder to find, but if you can get your hands on this one, I think it's a well worth buy. If you can get it for under $100. This was CH Men Grand Tour by Carolina Herrera. It came out in 2014. It was a limited release, so you can't, it's a little bit harder to find. People online selling it for, $200+. Don't do that. Don't buy it for that. What's interesting about this note, it is along the lines of CH Men Privé. I think this one is better. It smells a little bit more like the original CH Men. The interesting note about this one is that it has a tea note and it is mixed with some incense. So right up the top, you have a tea with incense, which is really cool. It also has some spices in there. It has some nutmeg, and it also has some suede, so a little bit of a suede leather scent with it. It's a beautiful fragrance to wear. It is unusual, and you get lots of compliments with this one because it is such a unique scent. But if you like the DNA of CH Men Privé, then you might also like this one if you can find it, of course. Unfortunately, it was a limited release, but keep your eyes open for CH Men Grand Tour. It's really a nice fragrance. And then there is a Bentley release that is 2020, and it is Silver Lake. I got this one as a tester. It says tester right here. It is a fingerprint magnet, so be careful with it if you decide to get it. It's a really good price. It's a 2020 release. It has some lavender in it. It has some musk in it. It's along the lines of the Acqua di Gio Profumos in the world. That's these right here. They smell somewhat similar. Of course, they only have their own personality, but it's along those lines. It's definitely a little bit of a fresher one. Silver Lake will last all day. It has incredible protection, incredible longevity. You will get whiffs of yourself and other people all day long. People will like it. You will smell fresh and clean. Silver Lake to me is kind of like walking along the line of a lake. It is still fresh outside, almost on the cold side, and you look into the distance and you see the mountains and it's still white, snow-capped, and your body is being warmed by the ray of the sun in the spring. That's what Silver Lake feels like to me. It is a beautiful fragrance from Bentley, and it's well worth your money. Cheers. That was it, my review of 10 fragrances that I'm looking forward to wearing in the spring. If you got anything out of this at all, please do consider subscribing. Love, like, share, all those wonderful things. Don't forget to hit the little bell button on the side, let you know of any of my further posts. I want to thank you in advance. Thank you for being here. It was great spending time with you. Until next time, I want you to take good care of yourself. Always smell nice, and I'll talk to you soon. Until then, Centrell